Wow, crypto land is going bonkers right now. Bitcoin just shot past $80,000.
80,000.
80,000. And Ethereum, right there with it, over 3,000.
It's unreal how fast things are moving.
It really is. $800 billion added to the whole crypto market in just 2 months. Crazy, right?
Absolutely bonkers.
So we've got these Crypto Guru articles here, and they're all about this crazy ride Bitcoin and Ethereum are on, what's making them soar, who's buying in, and what the experts think is coming next. That's what we're diving into today.
It's like everyone suddenly decided crypto was the place to be.
Yeah, the mood's totally shifted. So whether you've been trading crypto forever or you're just starting to think about it, by the end of this deep dive, you'll know exactly what's going on and maybe even have some ideas about what to expect next.
Should we start with Bitcoin hitting that crazy record? It's pretty wild how it's all tied to the election.
Right. It's like Bitcoin got an energy boost the second the results came in, past 80,000. An all-time high. Everyone's talking about how this new administration could be good for crypto. Like maybe there'll be new laws that help it grow even more. But like, what does that even mean for Bitcoin in real life?
Well, it's not just talk. People are putting their money where their mouth is. Like, big time. Everyone's piling into these Bitcoin ETFs, you know, those funds that follow Bitcoin's price.
Like everyone's trying to get in on the action?
Exactly.
Even BlackRock. They manage like tons of money, right?
Oh, yeah, they're the biggest.
They had over $1 billion flow into their Bitcoin ETF.
Billion with a B.
That's 4 times what went into gold.
It's a big signal, you know?
Yeah,
even the giants are starting to see crypto, especially Bitcoin, as a serious investment, not just some weird internet thing.
And some people are saying if this keeps up, Bitcoin could hit 100,000 by the end of the year. 100,000.
It's not impossible. There's a lot going for Bitcoin right now. More and more big institutions are getting on board. The regulations seem to be heading in the right direction, and regular folks are starting to see it as a normal thing to invest in. It all adds up.
So it's like a perfect storm for Bitcoin.
Pretty much.
Okay, so let's talk about Ethereum. It's not just riding Bitcoin's wave, it's having its own moment, right?
Totally. Over 3,000. That's a 31% jump just last week.
And now analysts are saying 4,000 is the next big target. It's like Bitcoin and Ethereum are playing leapfrog, pushing each other higher and higher. But like, what's pushing Ethereum specifically? It can't just be the good vibes from Bitcoin, right?
Well, that's part of it for sure. But there are other things happening too. Like, remember Arthur Hayes?
The BitWEX founder.
Yeah, him. He just bought a ton of Ethereum, like $3.3 million worth.
Wait, seriously? Didn't he, like, say he wasn't into Ethereum a while back?
That's what's interesting. This is his first big Ethereum purchase in 3 months.
So maybe he's changed his mind.
Maybe he sees something we don't. It definitely makes you think.
For sure. So we've got Bitcoin and Ethereum surging, but what about all the other, the altcoins? Are they getting in on the action too?
Oh, absolutely. They're not just sitting on the sidelines. Solana, for example, is on its way to joining the big leagues, the $100 billion club. It's aiming to be the next big thing.
I've heard the name, but what's so special about Solana? Is it more than just hype?
Well, it's trying to improve on some things that Ethereum struggles with, like making transactions faster and cheaper. Some people even call it an Ethereum killer.
Whoa. So it's like a speedier, more affordable version.
Interesting.
And what about coins like Cardano and Dogecoin? They've been popping up in the news too, right?
Yeah, they have. But for them, it seems like it's more about the political side of things.
Right.
All that speculation about Elon Musk maybe joining the government.
Right.
Well, that rumor sent Dogecoin's price up.
Wow. So, like, people think he'd be good for Dogecoin if he was in government.
That's the idea, I guess. And then with Cardano, there were rumors that its founder, Charles Hoskinson, would advise the government on crypto stuff. That's why its price jumped. So
it's not just about the tech itself. It's also about who's in charge and what they think about crypto. Wild.
It's pretty crazy how much power they have. One little statement from the right person can send these prices soaring, or plummeting for that matter.
It's like a high-stakes game.
Definitely. High stakes and high risk.
So we've seen the headlines, but now we know what's actually behind this crazy crypto surge. It's a mix of everything.
Yeah.
Politics, investors getting excited, and the whole market just feeling super bullish. What stands out to you about all this?
What really strikes me is how this isn't just about individual coins going up or down. This feels different. It feels like the whole financial world is starting to see crypto differently.
Like they're finally taking it seriously.
Exactly. It's not some fringe thing anymore. It's becoming a real player. And that makes you wonder, what's next?
That's the big question, isn't it? What does this all mean for the future of, like, everything? Money, investing, the whole economy. We'll dig into those questions in the next part of our deep dive.
Yeah, it's a wild ride for sure.
Reading these crypto guru articles, one thing that really jumped out at me was all this talk about how this new administration could be a game changer for crypto. Like with those pro-crypto regulations they're hinting at. How much should we believe that? Is it all just hype?
It's definitely something to keep an eye on. Like, we can't know for sure what's going to happen or what the new laws will actually look like. But a government that's friendly to crypto could be huge.
Yeah, it could really help it take off.
Totally. Think about it. If the rules are clear and the government is supportive, it could attract a ton of new investors, like the big institutions, and really help crypto go mainstream.
That makes sense. I know a lot of people, even if they're interested in crypto, have been kind of hesitant because the whole regulatory landscape is so uncertain. It's like they're waiting for someone to give them the okay.
Exactly. Right now, it's a bit of a free-for-all, which can be exciting, but also scary. But if governments step in and create a solid framework, it could remove some of that fear and make people more comfortable putting their money in.
And we're already seeing signs of that, right?
Yeah.
Like all that money flooding into Bitcoin ETFs shows that the big players are feeling more confident about crypto's future, especially here in the US.
Exactly. They're starting to see that crypto is here to stay, and they want a piece of the pie. But there's another thing to consider here, and that's Trump's campaign promise to fire the SEC chair, Gary Gensler. What do you think about that?
Honestly, I'm not sure. Like, isn't the SEC supposed to be independent? Can a president just, fire the head of the SEC?
It's tricky. It's not as simple as just snapping your fingers. But even the suggestion of a leadership change can create a lot of uncertainty and potentially influence how the SEC approaches regulating crypto.
So it's a waiting game. See how it all shakes out.
Pretty much.
But it's clear that politics and regulation have a huge impact on the crypto market. It's like this delicate dance between governments and this new technology.
And it's not just happening in the U.S. either. Governments all over the world are trying to figure out how to handle this new asset class. It's a global thing, and the rules are changing all the time.
Which reminds me, we were talking about Solana and how it might break into that $100 billion club. It's pretty impressive to see a newer player like that making such big moves.
It really is. It shows how much innovation and growth is happening in crypto, even beyond Bitcoin and Ethereum. Solana has managed to stand out, even with all the hype and, those meme coins that pop up everywhere.
Yeah, I remember when Solana was mostly known for being connected to all those dog-themed coins. But it seems like it's moved past that and attracted some serious investors.
And that's super important if you're talking about long-term success. A healthy market needs a mix of regular people, like you and me, and those big institutional investors with deep pockets.
But it's also a good reminder that the crypto market is still really driven by hype and speculation. It's like a roller coaster with those crazy highs and scary lows.
For sure. And while Solana has strong fundamentals and some cool tech behind it, it's important to be able to separate the hype from the reality. Don't get swept up in the fear of missing out, and make sure you're making decisions based on research, not just excitement.
Great advice. We've seen it happen time and time again, right? Some coin or project becomes the hot new thing, everyone jumps in, and then the excitement fades, and a lot of people get burned.
Exactly. It's much smarter to approach crypto investments with a long-term view and focus on projects that have solid foundations, a strong team, and a real use case in the world.
And don't forget to diversify. Putting all your eggs in one basket is never a good idea. Spread your investments around to manage the risk.
Exactly. Don't bet the farm on one horse, as they say.
So we've covered a lot. Bitcoin's record, the potential impact of regulations and politics, the rise of altcoins. But there's one more piece of the puzzle we need to talk about. Stablecoins. Specifically, that news about USDC reaching a major milestone on the SUI network.
Oh yes, stablecoins. They're becoming increasingly important.
I've heard the term, but to be honest, I'm still a little fuzzy on what they are and why they matter.
Think of them like a bridge between the traditional financial system and the world of crypto. They're designed to hold a stable value, usually tied to a regular currency like the US dollar. So they're not as volatile as other cryptocurrencies, which makes them good for certain uses.
So it's like having a digital dollar you can use in the crypto world. But how does that even work? What keeps their value stable?
Most of them are backed by reserves of real currency or other assets. So for every USDC out there, there's a corresponding US dollar held in reserve. That helps keep the value of USDC steady, even when other cryptos are fluctuating like crazy.
So it's like a digital IOU backed by real stuff. Got it. But why are they suddenly becoming so popular?
Well, for one, they offer stability in a market that's known for its wild swings. That makes them attractive to people who are maybe a bit hesitant to deal with the ups and downs of Bitcoin and the like.
So they're like a safe haven in the middle of the crypto storm.
Exactly. And they're not just for trading either. People are using them for payments, sending money overseas, even as collateral in decentralized finance or DeFi. We'll talk more about that later.
So they're becoming a core part of the whole crypto system. And what about this news about USDC hitting $100 million on the SUI network? What does that tell us?
It's a big deal, especially considering that SUI is a relatively new blockchain platform. It shows there's a growing demand for stablecoins on these emerging platforms.
So it's not just about the big established blockchains like Bitcoin and Ethereum anymore. Stablecoins are finding their way onto all sorts of platforms, which is pretty cool.
It is. It shows how much stablecoins are spreading and how they're becoming part of the broader crypto world. It really seems like they're here to stay, not just a passing trend. They're becoming a fundamental part of this new financial landscape that's emerging.
It's like stablecoins are the on-ramp for regular people to get into crypto. They offer something familiar and stable, making it easier for people to dip their toes into this new world.
That's a great way to put it. And as people become more comfortable using stablecoins for everyday things, they're more likely to explore other parts of the crypto world, like DeFi and NFTs. It's a gateway to a whole new set of possibilities.
So we've covered a lot of ground. Bitcoin's record-breaking run, the potential impact of regulations and politics, the rise of stablecoins. It feels like we've zoomed out and looked at the whole crypto landscape.
We have, and what's amazing is how connected everything is. It's not just about individual coins or technologies. It's about how they all work together and influence each other, shaping where the market goes next.
Like a giant web, constantly changing. So for someone listening to this, what can they actually do with all this information? How can they use it to navigate this crazy world?
That's a great question, and one we'll delve into in the next part of our deep dive.
Okay, so we've seen what's driving this crazy crypto surge, right? From Bitcoin's record-breaking run to stablecoins taking off, and, of course, the whole regulation thing looming over everything.
Yeah, we've covered a lot of ground.
It feels like we've just scratched the surface, though.
True. There's always more to discover in the world of crypto. It never sits still, always changing, always something new popping up.
So for someone listening to all this, what are the key takeaways? What can they actually do with this information?
Well, first off, remember that Bitcoin and Ethereum, they kind of set the mood for the whole market. Like, if Bitcoin keeps going up, chances are Ethereum and the other altcoins will follow.
So it's like watching the leaders to get a sense of where everyone's going.
Exactly. And keep an eye on those regulations. Any changes there, like those pro-crypto laws we talked about, they can make a huge difference, good or bad.
It's true. It's like the government has the power to make or break this whole thing.
And don't forget about stablecoins. They're becoming more and more important in the crypto world. They offer that stability, that bridge between the traditional financial system and this new crypto world.
Like we saw with USDC hitting that $100 million mark on SUI.
Yeah, exactly. It shows that stablecoins aren't just for Bitcoin and Ethereum anymore. They're everywhere.
It's like they're the training wheels for people who are new to crypto.
I like that analogy. It's true, though. They give people a sense of familiarity, a way to ease into this whole new world.
So pay attention to Bitcoin and Ethereum. Keep an eye on the regulations, and don't underestimate those stablecoins. What else?
Oh, and never forget, the crypto market is still young. It's volatile. Do your research, don't put all your eggs in one basket, and be ready for anything. Don't let your emotions make decisions for you.
Stay informed, stay calm, don't bet the farm on one horse. Got it. But if you had to pick one key takeaway from this whole deep dive, what would it be?
I'd say understanding how everything in the crypto market is connected is crucial. The tech, the investors, the regulations, the global events, it all plays a part. If you can learn to see how those pieces fit together and maybe even anticipate what's coming next, you'll be way ahead of the game.
And this is just the beginning, right?
Oh yeah, just the start. The crypto world never stops evolving. What's revolutionary today might be old news tomorrow.
So stay curious, keep learning, keep exploring. Great advice.
And one last thought to leave you with. We talked a lot about Bitcoin and Ethereum, the big players. But what about the next generation? The platforms that are coming up now? Could one of them come along and challenge the giants?
Yeah, like Solana's already making waves, right? Faster transactions, lower fees. What if someone comes along and does even better? More scalable, more secure, more innovative?
Exactly. Could we see a power shift in the crypto world? It's definitely something to think about. The future's wide open. Anything could happen.
That's what makes it so exciting. Well, this deep dive has been a wild ride. I feel like I've learned a ton. How about you?
Definitely. Always good to dive deep into this stuff.
Knowledge is power, right? Especially in a world that moves as fast as crypto. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the surging crypto market. Until next time, stay informed, stay ahead of the curve, and keep exploring the incredible world of crypto.